We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
And you'll know these last times by the time of thin blood, which will mark vampires that cannot beget. You will know them by the clanless, who will come to rule. Hello, and welcome to the Valley by Night, here on Dire Bear. I'm your storyteller for the evening, Jason, from over at the Nerd Eternal Network. And joining me as usual will be Eric playing Samuel, Rat playing Maeve, Sarah playing Jolene, and Decca playing Blackjack. Valley by Night is, of course, a vampire 5th edition chronicle. And this is, I believe, episode 2. So who wants to review last episode?
I got it. Sure.
Alright, go.
Just to get my name out of the sack of people who have to pick it. Last session, we were informed of a murder that went on that was obviously kindred involved because it was of the nature of the death, and the vampire did seal the wound to make it take away or to keep the masquerade going. And we all kind of went our separate ways to try to investigate, or we all came together about it, and then we kind of went our separate ways to try to investigate it. Blackjack went back to and circled around his farm and unfortunately found the Brat Pack, our rival coterie. Samuel went and schmoozing with the higher ups and the yahoos on the rich side of town. Rap went to go check the murder scene itself, and sorry, not Rap. I'm misremembering names. Maeve went to go check the murder scene itself, and Jolene gave waffles to the firefighters.
And they were very appreciative.
Yeah. I think that was about it. We didn't get a whole lot until Samuel awoke the next night, and there was a kindred who had been murdered in a similar fashion.
Alright. So yes, everyone has awoken.
Get the Rouse check out the way.
I believe Samuel made his rouse check last time.
Correct.
Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the last thing you did.
I didn't know if we were going with that or if we wanted to roll at the beginning.
I'm still good.
I'm
Maeve
extra
is
good.
hungrier. You rolled a
I am not good. I'm
Alright, so your hunger goes up by 1. So yes, Samuel had had a brief conversation with, I believe it was Wyatt that talked to you.
Yep. Someone recently in the employ of Lady Deschler.
That is correct. And Lady Deschler is, of course, the Ventru Primogen. And the wife of the city's prince.
Yep.
So I think you had said Samuel was heading over.
Yeah.
They have the kindred victim who had been mauled and reduced to torpor. I believe she has him at her house.
Yeah, she asked Samuel to come over.
Alright, so you'll be heading out that way. Blackjack, what do you do as your evening begins?
I am not muted. Cool. All right. I get up, do my evening tasks around the farm. The cows know it's feeding time. Chickens know it's feeding time. They might be like, "Huh, it's weird," feeding in the evening. But at this point, they're kind of used to it. So I get everything going. It's January, so the plants aren't gonna do a whole heck of a lot right now. And I kind of get up, truck around for a little bit. I'm not super interested in doing a whole lot, but it was weird seeing the Brat Pack circle around, so I might just circle around again, see if they show up again.
Okay.
But
So you take care of the necessary farm stuff and then just kind of patrol.
Patrol around, and I'll text Samuel and say, doing around. Let me know if you need anything.
All right.
Samuel will reply, though, to the whole group, considering it just reminded me, got the text from Blackjack. Medical emergency, won't be at home for a little while.
All right, and Maeve,
Thumbs up emoji.
you have woken up in your basement in Haven.
Yeah.
With her cat familiar.
I believe her familiar
Only
with
if it was
actually
a
a dog.
cat.
No, just my headcanon is it's a cat now, because you just always have a cat.
I do. Scully's now like, Mom, love me. Stop trying to give me kisses right now, baby girl. She's gonna get ready because she works tonight. At the club, so.
Okay. And by the way, what is your dog's name?
Let's just name him Vincent.
That will be the first note for my session 2 notes.
The Jason Carl made him.
Was it?
The Jason Carl. I have made a note of this.
Oh.
Scully, not the nails in the chest. It hurts.
Alright. So let's see, if the sun goes down, see, in January it's probably down by 6. Let's see. Sundown. January. Let's see, in the campaign, it's Tuesday, January 15th, I believe. Oh, excuse me. Sun would have been down about 5.
Whole last extra hour to do stuff.
Yep, vampires like the winter, other than that whole having to be careful of masquerade, because you don't, unless you burn blood to do it, your breath doesn't miss. Alright.
I'm fine.
So, okay, so you get up, probably feed the dog, get dressed for work. You probably have a couple of hours before you have to report in.
Since she is kind of feeling a little hungry, she's gonna kind of go look to see if she can find kind of a low life of sorts, kind of feed off just to kind of sate the little bit of hunger she feels when she woke up.
What is your hunger at?
2?
Or her hunger. Okay, well, 2's not bad, but yeah.
Yeah, just a little. She just feels that little.
Just a little hunger pang.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alright, now, where are the hunting rules? Hunting and humors, 20. Oh, I was close to it already.
Go on, Mamita, please. Thank you, my little love.
Alright, now there should be a 1 rule version of hunting, I think.
the salmon, Scully. That's not for the baby.
Ah, there we are. Alright, so you're going hunting. Let's see, you are an alley cat predator, I believe?
Yes, but I go after, like, the criminals or, you know, kind of like bad guys of sorts.
Okay.
Because I was reading and there's 2 different types for the alley cat. No salmon for the baby.
Okay, so you would probably be using the wits plus streetwise
Yes.
to find a victim.
Mhm.
And this is not a bad part of town particularly. But everywhere has got its, you know, ne'er-do-wells or its drug dealers or what have you.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I roll the predator 1, right?
Is there a...
It says wits. I have the wits and streetwise.
Okay, yeah, give that a hit.
Did I not roll? Oh, there it is. Modifier. No modifier, right?
No, this will just be a baseline roll.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay, that is... Let's see...
4 successes.
I know we've had this discussion before. Was that 4
It's 4 total.
total? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
so... There's a 10 in there, but there's only one 10, so that's not a critical. And none of the hunger dice came up 10, so it's not going to be a messy critical.
That's good.
Yeah, messy criticals can be bad. I mean, it means you'd get the blood you needed.
And I don't make a mess, and now my cat is laying weird on my... It's making me so weird.
That's okay. Cats can go boneless whenever they want to.
Not when she's on my mouse.
So with 4 successes, yeah, you have absolutely no problem tracking of... Let's see, who would it, what would it be? Is there any particular kind of criminal that May likes to target?
Probably, like, the drug dealers, they probably, you know, she'll probably see more of those often. Especially
Okay.
her line of work. They're a bit easier to pick out.
Okay. So yeah, you spend a couple of hours prowling around. In one alleyway, let's see. Probably close. We'll say close to the Valley Bend Shopping Center there. You see a guy just kind of standing out. It's January. It's a mild January, but still. And as you watch, a couple of people come up, and there's this, you know, quick couple of words and kind of a quick handshake. You know, you recognize it as them passing off, you know, drugs and money. You manage to slink up to the guy, fairly close to the guy before he notices you. And then you're pretty much on him. How much are you going to drink from him?
Just enough to sate that little hunger I have woken up with. Not enough to, like, kill him or anything. Just enough to
Okay.
get a little
I mean,
feed.
I'm just going to point out, if you drained him dry, you would have a hunger of 0.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Just a little feed.
Okay. Well, you...
Doesn't need an extra kill on top of the one they're already dealing with close to their coterie.
Alright. So you just take a sip, because you only really need one hunger. And there's no complications. A sip does not take very long. Can't remember if it just takes a turn, if it still takes a scene. But anyway. A car drives by while you're in the middle of it, but to them it would just look like you were making out with the guy. Let's see, with 4 successes, there's not going to be any complications. So, yeah, you take your sip, you lick the wound, closed. And when a kind is being fed on, it's really pleasant for them. So he's a little out of it, and you manage to get around a corner before he kind of shakes it off, and he knows something happened, and he's like, feeling at his throat. You just hear him kind of mutter, "What the hell? Was that a drive-by makeout? What the?" And then you hear him start patting his pocket like he wants to make sure he wasn't pickpocketed while this was going on. And you were on him quick enough, you're pretty sure he didn't get a good look at you, so.
Yeah.
Jolene. Let's see, were you the other one that's hunger went up? No, you had a success. That's right, it was just Samuel and Maeve. Okay. So what is your hunger currently sitting at?
2.
Okay. Now, unlike the rest of them, you could very well have been up before sundown.
Probably not too much up before then, because she did spend some time doing stuff during the day.
Okay, that's true.
So she probably just did what she needed to do, did all the shopping, came home, took a nap, and then woke up probably around sundown.
Okay.
She'll just, throw a text out. Got all your stuff, I'll give it to you all whenever we meet up again for D&D.
Whatever your code phrase is.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday. And she'll honestly probably just, until she hears something from someone else that they're meeting up, she'll probably just go about, I don't know if she would have work, she'll probably just go about checking on her mom, checking on a couple of other folks.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
just
let's
kind
see.
of...
Does her mother
join
live
them
here in
even out.
town?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're up and puttered around for just a little bit. You've sent out that text. You got that you got everybody's shopping list done. Shortly thereafter, you get the blackjack Samuel exchange. So he's Samuel is in about a medical emergency. You might assume that was something hospital related.
Yeah. She figures if anyone needs to hear anything from her, she'll get a text or a call, or someone will just show up behind her all creepy like. So she's just gonna go about her evening until anything else pops up.
Okay. Alright, so back around to Samuel. You show up at the Deschler house. Let's see. Wyatt caught you. Did he knocked on your door right at dark? So
Yeah.
he probably headed back to tell her you were coming, and then you finished getting dressed or whatever. So you walk down to the Deschler house. Despite living fairly close, you've really only been in there once or twice. Usually if they're throwing some kind of get together, it's either at the country club or during the summer they might rent out the golf course if they want to do something kind of outside.
Yeah.
Or use one of the other Elysiums throughout the city. The old bank that sits right above the big spring is one of the spots they tend to use because it's one of the older buildings in the city.
Yeah.
And let's see, 2019. I think it would have already been closed by then. Up until recently, it was the longest continually in operation bank, I think, in the country. Certainly in the state. Built supposedly at the site of John Hunt's original cabin, which is the whole founding of the city thing. Anyway. So as soon as you knock on the door, Wyatt opens the door. Thank you for coming so quickly, Doctor. This way. You are carried into... not the dining room table. That would be tacky. He ushers you into a sitting room where you see a man laid out on a couch. The guy's shirt is just shredded. You can smell the Vitae as soon as you walk in. It's and you know your beast kind of rumbles. It's kind of the vampiric equivalent of your tummy rumbling when you smell something tasty.
Yeah.
But you know you're only sitting at a 2, so it's not anything strong. Like I said, the shirt's shredded. It looks like they've cut it more and kind of peeled it back. They've cleaned him up a little bit. You know, someone has clearly, wiped him down.
Yeah.
Let's see. Don't really need to roll, You can tell he's been clawed up. It looks like the wounds have started to seal up a little bit. As you walk in, Deschler, let's see, what was her name? Nora, I believe.
Yeah, it's Nora.
Yeah. So Nora Deschler, primogen of Clan Ventru, in the city commonly known as Lady Deschler, steps over to you. Oh, Doctor, thank you for coming.
Of course.
I don't know that your, medical skill is necessary to get him back on his feet, but we thought we'd have you come take a look at him, see if you could tell us anything about it. This is a Howard Trudeau, minor member of Clan Toreador here in the city. He has a very small domain just outside of the Jones Valley domain. Basically, he's been granted a city block or 2 that he can cut in.
Understood.
Individual kindred don't tend to get large domains unless there's somebody important. But so yeah, I see Howard Trudeau. Let's see. She pulls out, or she kind of snaps a finger, and a servant runs over with a folder. We have the crime scene photos. I don't know if you've seen them yet from the previous attacks, both the one here in town and the one that happened between Huntsville and Arab. I don't know if you'll be able to tell from them if it's the same individual, though. That's the assumption we're going with.
I'll do the best I can, my lady.
Oh, I know you will, Doctor. Let's see. Give me something with your medical skill. Let's see.
Well, medical skill.
So
That would be
probably intelligence.
intelligence plus medical.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, it might be wits if you were in a big hurry or something, but
Okie dokie then. Now to see what it counts medical as to roll. There we go. Attribute.
yeah, that's I think it gives you a choice.
Yeah. Modifiers.
No, there's no special modifier here. So.
I'm about to say what I. This wouldn't involve my human anatomy specialization, would it?
Go ahead and throw that in there.
Okay. Alrighty. So I guess modifier 1. I've never done this on Roll20 before, so this will be new.
Yeah, I haven't figured out the sheets yet, really. Alright, so that was a... Okay, that's 4 successes. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And one of them was a 10 on the hunger dice.
Yeah, but since there's not another 10, it's not a critical.
Fair.
So
Okay.
the 10 on the hunger dice only takes effect if it's a critical, which means there has to be 2 10s.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm remembering previous editions where if you got a 10 on one of the hunger dice, you got messed up.
Well, you didn't have hunger dice in the previous editions because you had the whole blood pool system. But yeah, in all the previous ones, 110 was all you needed for a critical. But anyway.
Yeah.
So you're examining him. You're looking at the man that was attacked, the firefighter that was attacked. You note his height. You know, you look at Howard's. You know, you kind of guesstimate Howard's height. You're looking at the photos of the woman. You know, her height. And you come to the conclusion that the attacker on all 3 individuals was probably about the same height, just kind of based on where the marks kind of struck from. Because you can tell, looking at the wound, you can tell kind of where it starts and stops. You know, whether it was a downward swing or an upward swing. You also notice that this person seems to slightly favor their left hand. The left-handed strikes seem to be maybe a little stronger. More of the wounds seem to come from the left, would have been the attacker's left side. Let's see. What for 4? What else would you pick up?
Let's see. So it's about the same height as victims.
Well, the victims are different heights, but
Oh, okay. So
you're thinking whoever attacked these 3 people would have all been the same height, which imply that, and the fact that all of them seem to be left-handed would imply to you it was the same person for sure.
Right.
So you get a rough idea of its height, probably anywhere from 5'9" to maybe 6 foot. So not necessarily a really big guy, but not short by any means.
Right.
You're pretty sure he's left-handed. In all 3 cases that you're looking at, the attacks were pretty savage. There's not a lot of finesse to it.
So definitely relying on their strength above all else. Okay.
One thing you do notice with Howard here, though, is there's no wound on his neck. Where with the other 2, you had the bite wounds.
Right.
That had not been sealed. There's no bite wound on Howard. He's been clawed up, but it does not look like he's been fed from. Unless the guy stopped to lick the wound closed. But he didn't on his human victim, so.
Right.
And that's pretty much what you get from examining the wounds and looking at the crime scene photos.
Okay. So he'll look between them for a moment, sort of shuffle a few of the photos around, pull out a notebook, flip it open, start writing a little bit. Well, from what I can tell between the previous photos and our current victim, given the angle of attack of the victims, either it was multiple attackers, all the same height, which would be a remarkable coincidence, or it's the same person moving systematically, approximately around the height range of 5'9" to 6 feet. Given the angles, especially here on the firefighter, they do seem to favor the left hand. So likely a left-handed kindred of some form. They also seem to be relying upon a preternatural strength as opposed to any form of finesse. There's a definite power behind the blows and lacking any kind of real dexterous motion to them. Finally, from what I can tell from Howard here, he was not fed from, unless they licked the wound closed, but they have not on their previous victims.
Deschler's, or Norris is there. But if he's been this wild and uncontrolled previously, why wouldn't he have fed on poor Howard?
Well, I do not have any real research to confirm, but my coterie and I have been doing a little bit of investigation around our domain. From what we're able to tell thus far, or it's speculation at this point, or hypothesis, but it seems that whomever this is might not be someone that is falling to frenzy, but someone that is intentionally feeding to the point of draining, and then riding that satiation to their next victim. Perhaps he knew of the blood bonding or perhaps he's wary of the blood bonding properties of feeding off of a kindred.
No, that's possible.
And so perhaps Howard here simply got in his way, and he just savaged his victim before moving on.
Well, if he was hunting in Howard's neighborhood and in Howard's domain, and Howard came across him,
Precisely.
You know, the Toreador are not known for their warriors, so.
No, they are not. Well, I suppose it depends on what arena you put them in.
Well, that's true. I suppose martial arts is still an art form. As you've been discussing this with her, there was a knock at the door. One of the presumably ghoul retainers runs off. And just a few moments later, Miles Ross walks in. Samuel, you've met him a time or two. He is the primogen of Clan Toreador.
Okay.
A slightly heavy-set fellow. Not real tall, and not fat, just, kind of pudgy. There's not a whole lot of fat kindred.
Mm-hmm.
But he's managed to retain a little bit of pudge into his unlife.
They stick with a couple seeds.
But, he comes in, he greets Lady Deschler. he nods to you, Doctor.
Lord Ross?
And, Nora gestures over to him. Well, we have Howard here. And she tells him about, he's in torpor. Samuel here was examining the wounds, and she relays the information you've given her. We think we've got this fellow's, the attacker's height. We think he's left-handed, not a finesse fighter at all. Yeah, and Ross kind of nods. You don't get the impression that he's super interested in the details. He does comment that, well, good. I'm glad to see you have competent people investigating, and that you're narrowing down. He starts rolling up one of his sleeves, but let's try and get poor Howard here up and around. He pulls out a small knife, makes an incision on his wrist, and begins dripping blood into Howard's mouth.
Well, while that's happening, Samuel will turn to Lady Dash. Like, was there any... Did Howard manage to take any blood from his victim fighting back? Might perhaps be under his nails.
Well, you can certainly check. We cleaned him up, but we really just had... I simply had one of the servants wipe him down. They wouldn't have cleaned up under his nails yet.
Right. If there is any spare blood, I could potentially make use of some of my training to potentially find something.
Oh, you think you could track him with thaumaturgy?
It is possible. It depends on how deadened the Vitae has become.
Well, that's fascinating. How exactly would that work?
Well...
And you've known her for a little while.
Yeah.
She's always very, very interested in blood sorcery.
Yeah.
To the point that your previous Primogen had warned everybody in the clan, she's a close ally. So, we have, stay polite at all times, but tell her nothing about the path of blood.
Yeah. Well, it is a long and involved process, but involving a great deal amount of scientific and biological study. Something that I've had to devote an entire lifetime towards to understand.
She's like, I'm fascinated by how much science gets used in your magics.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just an understanding of the natural world. Just helps.
If you wouldn't mind, my lady, I'd like to get started.
Oh, yes, please do.
He'll go over and he'll check to see if there might be any dried blood under Howard's nails or anything like that from, self-defense marks of where he tried to, claw at him or something.
Examining his hands, you don't find any blood under the nails particularly. There is some bruising on the knuckles, so you think Howard may have been punching rather than clawing.
Okay.
Which, most kindred don't have claws.
Yeah.
And the amount of force to bruise, Howard may have been rousing his blood to increase his strength, because that's something kindred can do universally,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see. Several minutes pass. Howard starts to rouse up. His primogen is being of a more advanced or higher or lower. Hang on, I'm getting mixed up here. Yeah, it'd be lower generation, thus more powerful. His blood is able to rouse him out of torpor much, much sooner than would have happened otherwise.
Yeah.
left to his own devices, he'd had to heal up on his own. Basically, a little bit over multiple nights, and would likely wake up in a hunger frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
But as it is, when he wakes up, he sort of lunges up, trying to grab the Primogen's arm, and has to be kind of forced back down. But in a moment, he kind of gathers himself. What happened? Where am I? Oh, Lady Deschler. And then he looks down and he sees what a mess he is. It's kind of like, sorry you had to see me like this.
Yes, well, if I may speak, my lady, my lord. He'll look to the two Primogens.
Oh, they both give you a nod.
Also, just a sort of an OSC thing, he'll always refer to the Primogens by lady or lord, and the princes by prince. He just always refers to them by that way.
Most folks refer to the prince as prince most of the time.
Yeah.
The lord and lady thing coming from you, everybody's going to go, oh, he's British.
Yeah. It's just his quirk.
Yeah.
That's what he does with the Primogens. It's like, well, last night you were attacked and reduced to torpor.
Yes, there was a poacher in my domain.
Yes, I noticed he was poaching outside of my own domain the previous night. My coterie and I were trying to find out any information. Would you happen to have any? Your wounds and the previous victims that we've found managed to get us some information, but any more you could tell us would definitely be helpful.
He was wearing camouflage. Some sort of camouflage hunting jacket or something. Dark hair. I couldn't tell you if it was brown or black, but it was fairly dark. He might have been 6 feet. I don't think he was quite 6 feet. Seemed skittish when I first approached him, but then when I got up to him, he lashed out with claws like he was one of the mongrels or something. Let's see, what else would Howard have picked up? I don't think he was very old. Maybe he seemed frightened as soon as I yelled. He seemed frightened when he was fighting. He was he was quick, but he wasn't. I'm not a trained fighter myself, but I've seen trained fighters. I think he was relying more on his natural speed than anything. He was certainly strong, but that may have just been he may have just been rousing the blood for that. I've never been struck by someone, by like a Bruja with potence or anything, but I would imagine that would have been worse than what happened to me. So you think this was the same person that attacked that left that messy kill out the other night?
Well, evidence is pointing towards that, yes.
Huh.
You were not bitten. Unless he sealed it. But he did not seal the other two victims. He or she.
Well, after that fight, he wouldn't have gotten much out of me anyway. But
Very true.
At least he's not a Diablerist.
Yes. Well, and he was writing down what he said. a little bit more onto his notes. Like, my lady, do you have a quiet room I might use? There is one of my disciplines I could potentially call on to see if I could find something.
Oh, certainly. She tells one of the ghouls, show him to the library.
His eyes sort of light up a second, and he's just like, you always know the right words to say, my lady.
Oh, well, you know. I know how intellectuals think.
Should this prove fruitful, I will be sure to share what I learn.
Oh, of course, of course. And one of the maids, shows you to the library.
And before he closes, like, I will need total silence, so please no disruptions until I emerge from the room.
We'll be waiting here patiently.
My thanks.
And you hear the Primogen start speaking to Howard as you leave.
And in that room, he's going to sit down, take a moment, and try to call on a premonition.
Okay, using his Auspex.
Yes. It's one of the things is it's something that you as the storyteller can just throw at me to get something going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just at your discretion, but I can also choose to invoke the power to try and gain a premonition.
Oh, that's the level 2 one, okay.
Yeah. So it's
So basically free if I do it.
It's free if you do it, but I have to make a rouse check plus a roll if I want to invoke one forcefully.
Okay.
So basically, do you want to give it to me, or am I rolling for it?
No, you're intentionally sitting down to try to do this.
Gotcha. Okay. I figured that's just one of those things I'm going to have to ask every time this happens.
Yeah, as a general rule, if you're asking to use it...
If I'm asking to use it, gotcha.
If I need to hit you with a clue by 4, then I'll...
A clue by 4. I like that.
I am stealing that for my next games.
That's okay, I stole it from somebody, so that's fair.
Hit him with a clue by 4. Oh, good grief.
So anyway, so give me the rouse check.
Gotcha.
See if your hunger jumps up to a 3.
Okay.
I
succeed the
one
rouse check.
success, so you do not get any hungrier.
Right, and...
And then the dice pool is your resolve plus Auspex.
Correct. And with the addition of... Where the hell is it? Right, a +1 bonus for blood potency.
Ah. Alright, so it is 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Excuse me. Now, you're just trying to invoke some sort of premonition about this current situation? Or what specifically are you seeking information on? Are you muted?
Yes.
Okay.
He's trying to see if he can get any information on a future hunt that this mysterious attacker might try as a potential ambush by the kindred.
Okay. Let's see, 2 successes.
I was kind of hoping for more than that, but
you get it's a fairly brief little vision. It's not super clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like one of those third-person video games. Your view is kind of behind this person.
Yeah.
Dark brown hair. He's in a camouflage hunting jacket that has... It's not raggedy, but it has seen better days. It has seen some use. he seems tense. You do definitely get that. And he is walking up to the entrance of a club. You see a few people in line, not like lined up down the, down the sidewalk, but there's like, 3 or 4 people at the door showing IDs before they walk in. And that's what you get. You get that brief flash of him walking towards the club.
Okay.
And the impression that this will be happening soon.
All right. Did I get did the sort of view have maybe the name of the club like over the door or something like that, or?
No.
Okay. Next question then. Since Maeve does work at a club, would there have been any conversation about her job or some point that I might be able to recognize a uniform? Both to you and Rap, basically.
Would Maeve have been one to talk much about her job?
I mean, she said she would have had that she had a job, that she worked at a club, but that was about it.
About it? Okay.
Mhm.
So probably not. Alrighty, that's fair. I figured I'd check, just in case.
And as far as the uniform, the guy checking the IDs at the door had the black shirt and, little
Got
security
it,
name
okay.
tag or whatever, but nothing fancy.
So, and time of day or time of night, rather.
Hard to say. I mean, it was clearly after dark, obviously, but
Clearly after dark, yeah. Maybe, and it wasn't some kind of rush hours, a short line.
yeah, there was 4 or 5 people right at the door. It was,
Okay.
as this guy was approaching.
So he'll just shake himself out of it. And
Probably still early-ish if there's not a lot of people
Yeah.
out line at the door.
Or it's an off day during the middle of the week or something,
still.
Mhm.
And he'll open the door once that's done.
The lady that showed you in is standing out there, like she was waiting in case you needed something.
He's rubbing at his head a little bit. That always induces headaches. If you would show me back, please.
Oh, certainly this way. And you could have easily have found your way yourself, but she leads you back.
Yeah. Figured it's polite since the Lady Deschler sort of assigned the maid to him to show him.
When you get back, Howard is he's standing up now. He has a suit coat on, kind of buttoned up to kind of hide the condition of his shirt.
Yeah.
As you walk in,
And he's rubbing his temples, just ugh.
as you walk in, Primogen Ross looks at you. Well, thank you for your assistance, Doctor. But if you don't need Howard anymore, I'm gonna take him and get him fed and then back home to recuperate.
Understood, my lord.
Thank you for your assistance in this.
Do you wish to hear what I invoked, or would you be up to hearing it later?
Well, yes. He gestured just a couple of the servants to help Howard out of the car. Yes, I can certainly stay long enough to listen. What have you discovered?
Well, as you both probably know, invoking premonitions is a gamble. However, from what I was able to glimpse, he was certainly matched the description that Howard gave, with dark brown hair. Certainly a very tense individual. From what I saw, he was approaching a club. It was either on an off day, sometime in the middle of the day, or not at peak hours. There wasn't very many people outside, maybe 4 or 5. But he was heading for the club, and I was getting the feeling that this was going to happen soon.
I wonder if he's feeding again already.
It's possible. A fight with another kindred that
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 is
could have
true.
taken some out of it.
If Howard got in a few good strikes,
Well,
healing
ju-
healing can increase the hunger quickly.
Judging from the bruising pattern on Howard's knuckles, he definitely looked like he successfully roused his blood enough to strike very heavily. So there's possible there was some, perhaps superficial or even aggravated damage done to this attacker that he might have roused the beast a little bit further to heal.
I will call around to all the coteries that have clubs in their domain to keep an eye out.
Understood. A member of my coterie does work at a club, so I can certainly inform her to keep an eye out as well.
Oh. Please do.
If she is one of the gangrels, so if they do attack and get violent, she will be able to defend herself pretty well.
Ah, excellent. Oh yes, I know who you're referring to now. There aren't very many gangrel in the city.
Precisely. But that is all I was able to learn. It's, as I said, invoking premonitions is a gamble.
Yes.
Sometimes you learn a great deal, sometimes you learn nothing.
Well, it sounds like we got you got a useful clue at least. That, and between you and Howard, we have a better description of this person.
Right. His jacket seemed to be of, as described as a camouflage jacket. It seems to be of a doesn't seem to be a leisure camouflage jacket. It was something that was more built for hunting. And looked very frayed and worn down. Like it's seen quite a bit of use.
Well, if he's been wandering from town to town, it can make sense. Getting into fights with other kindred.
Well, depending on the kind, they could have done some damage too. But
Well, fair. I guess we often underestimate them.
yes, it's easy to do. But I've seen just how deadly kind can be in warfare. I've served in a few myself.
Yes. And what the Second Inquisition did to your own clan here in the city.
Yes. Fortunately, I was not there at the time. I was away on business.
Yes, I kind of assumed you were probably at the hospital. Well, thank you for your help, Doctor. If you discover anything else, please let us know, and I will let the prince know that you have been helpful, and pass the information on to him. I'm sure he
Many
will
thanks,
alert
brother.
the sheriff and the scourge.
My coterie has been, as I told the Lady Deschler, my coterie has been doing some investigating around our borders, see if we might learn anything. Thus far, as I told Lady Deschler, well, you were informed already by her of our findings, or of what I've been able to find thus far. Best I can tell, although this is just a hypothesis from what I've been able to put together, it seems that whomever this is draining people dry and then moving on to his or her next target. Sort of riding the satiation of the hunger and not adjusting to having that constant
Going
roar.
going as far as they can between feedings, basically.
It's what it seems. This
Why would they be so careful to try to put as much distance between a kill as possible, but then leave the kill so sloppy?
Well, again, just hypothesis on my part. I have no substantial evidence. But perhaps it is a newer kindred that was embraced as a crime of passion, so to speak, and is trying to not feed as long as possible. Take as long as possible to feed. And perhaps has a moment of panic once the deed is done and flees the scene.
Lady Deschler nods her head. That's possible. That is, creating a childer and then simply leaving them to fend for themselves is how the gangrel tend to do things. Oftentimes, the sire will be watching at a distance, though, judging whether the childer is, fit to survive. Usually, though, they would clean up this sort of mess. Of course, if it's an anarch gangrel, they might not care to clean up the mess since it's already inconvenience.
True.
Well, I won't keep you any longer, Doctor. Thank you for your help.
Of course. As I told young Wyatt, I am currently working on crafting some bloodstones for use should they become necessary.
Well, hopefully, if we can find this fellow the first time, we can bring him in and discuss his wayward actions.
Of course. Should they become necessary, I will bring them to you when they are done.
Well, thank you. And one of the help shows you out.
Right.
Well,
He'll-
probably Wyatt.
And as per his custom when dealing with the Primogen ladies or the Harpy, he'll do him a quick just kiss on the knuckles, very brief, as a show of sort of fealty and respect.
As usual, they seem to find it, mildly delightful. Let's see. That might not have been an uncommon thing when she was alive. She dates back Civil War-ish.
Yeah.
So
So
you're-
it might be that little piece of the past she enjoys. Who knows?
Or maybe your husband being a gangrel. Hey, maybe he's not that showy.
She has to get her jollies from somewhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're shown the way out. And then let's see. Let's cut to.
Also, before that, he will send a text to Maeve and says, there was an attack near your home last night. They might be targeting clubs in your area. Keep a watchful eye.
Show message back. Roger, Commander.
He'll just smirk and then get ready to go to work at the hospital.
All right.
Which, whenever when you get around to it, he'll see if there's a sleeping person on the night shift with that sort of no one is watching. Just do under the guise of doing a checkup. We'll
Okay.
see if he can. Feed
Next time I cut over to you, we'll do the feeding roll for you.
Yeah,
All right.
Sandman.
Yep. All right, let's cut to. Let's see, Blackjack. You said you were patrolling.
Yeah.
Uh,
While I'm still looking, to see if anything's hinky going on in the area, I'm also high key looking to see if the Brat Pack makes another appearance.
oh, give me let's say awareness and. Oh, that's right. Awareness is a skill, not a stat.
Wits and awareness?
Yes.
It's usually what the roll is.
Yeah, generally.
Modifiers. 1 success.
Let's see, it was 1 success.
Not a total failure. So.
You don't know if it's the Brat Pack or the Valley Cove coterie, but you see a car that looks like theirs, but it's off at a distance, and by the time you get up to where it was, you're not sure where it got to. So it might have been the same car, it might have just been the same make and model.
I mean, I'm touching distance to like the rich area, so that kind of tracks. that it
Mhm.
would be. Same make and model.
Yeah, because their car was a very nice car, but it was not like a Lamborghini or anything that just super
Right.
stood out.
It was just a really nice like Ford or something.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm just looking around and no one's told me anything, so I'm just kind of hanging.
okay.
Uh, yeah.
Is there any particular area that you're wanting to patrol?
Let's see. So the route that they took last time was like, fudge, what was it? It was like down by Martin Road and all that, right? Going down from there.
Let's see. I think that was more. Yeah, here was more or less. Martin Road there was more or less where I think you spotted them.
Yeah.
And then they kind of, they hit it kind of south. It really just kind of followed the border of your domain.
Yeah.
Until they got over to Cecil Ashburn, which takes them up over Pine Bluff and basically up over the mountain down to their side of town.
Sure. Which is fine. I'd probably just run over that area again and as I get to like towards Cecil Ashburn, I was like, oh, no one's here, and then go back to my farm.
Okay.
But I haven't received word or anything yet, so I'm just vibing. And Captain Commander said he's gonna be busy. Not gonna bother him.
And you're not hungry particularly, so.
Yeah, I'm not hungry. That's the other thing. And I don't have an aspect power, so I'm fine. I can't make that any easier.
Jolene, you are off work tonight.
Yes.
You've called around and you've talked to your mother. She's doing fine. Let's see, is she old enough to be retired, or would she still be working?
She is the town drunk, so.
Oh, that's
Probably
right.
has
I had
some
forgotten about that. Let's see. Now, does she live? You said she lives in town. Does she live in the domain, or is she somewhere else?
She doesn't live in their domain, probably. No.
Then yeah, you talk to her. She's doing okay. She's clearly already been drinking. She's talking about let's see. Probably talking about the workers' comp claim she's putting in. That she's really hopeful they'll take it this time. You hear the TV kind of blaring in the background. What would your mother be into, or what would Jolene's mother be into? Reality TV or like old episodes of Cops?
Whichever one's on.
It's probably an old episode
Because
of Cops.
they're
Then.
both kind of reality TV, though.
Well, that's
It's
true.
just
That's true.
A little
One,
bit trashier than the other. She'll probably just get like a grocery list from her and be like, "I'll bring it by tomorrow." Yeah.
yeah,
after work or
there's
something.
some food on that list. There's a lot of alcohol.
She's gonna pick up the food.
It's like, let's see, is it Milwaukee's Best? That's one of your really cheap ones.
Ew.
Look, she likes a quality beer, but quantity is its own quality.
Yep, she'll get the list, but she's gonna pick mostly up food because she knows she's probably stocked.
You carry her a 6-pack when she was asking for the 24.
Yeah, they were out. It's the damnedest thing. If your license hadn't been revoked, you could go get.
They're always out when you go and get it.
Walk your ass down there yourself.
quieter grumbling then. Maeve. You have fed. You got home. Back home, got dressed for work, pet the dog some. Leave Vincent guarding the place. Because let's see, we said your haven was like a basement up under an abandoned house, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you leave him in your haven guarding, or do you leave him in the house above it? Or just own the property?
I own the property, but I just kind of live more underneath. It's easier not to be hit by the sun.
I'm just saying, where do you leave Vincent when he's guarding the place?
They don't have the same effects that vampires do, right? When it's with the sun.
No. Ghouls are fine in the sun.
Yeah. I'll just leave them to run up the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do keep in mind when running around, like leaving them around in the public and stuff. Ghouled animals tend to be a little more aggressive than normal ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you give him the command to guard, then he's going to guard. You've got him trained on what your property is.
Yeah.
So he's not going to run into somebody else's yard and attack him or anything. But
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to be one of them dogs that starts barking and stuff if somebody walks by and looks at the property.
Yeah.
And we said he was a German Shepherd?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I got something in my eye. Alright, so you go to work. It's Tuesday, so, it's not a busy night. You say hey to Carl, the security guy that's actually at the door. Jot that name down because I know one of y'all will ask about it later. It's Carl with a K. He tells you never trust a Carl with a C. But he's a big dude, which is one of the reasons they put him on the door.
Mm-hmm.
The first time somebody comes to the club and causes some trouble, sometimes they'll step to you because you're not quite as physically intimidating. Now they tend to only do it the one time, but they leave the big guys like Carl out front because that tends to dissuade people.
Yeah.
So you're walking around, you're keeping an eye out. It's early in the night, so nobody's wasted yet. There's really not a whole lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after you've been there a couple of hours, give me an awareness roll. Be awareness wits. Okay, that's 2 successes. You notice one guy keeps walking around chatting up the ladies, which is not an unusual thing. Keeps getting shot down, and you notice he seems agitated. And clearly the women he's speaking to are picking up on this in some way. You also notice that he's been here 30 minutes or so and he hasn't ordered a drink. Now he's offered to buy, there's a couple of the ladies he's offered to buy them drinks, but he hasn't bought one for himself, and he hasn't bought one and had it sent to a lady. It's always when he's asking, or when he's talking to him, that he'll mention it.
Did Samuel message her what the guy was wearing?
I don't know. I don't remember him saying anything. Now, you know, she could always text him and see if he had a description.
I think you're muted.
Yeah, I have to do that so I don't blow your all's eardrums when I clear my throat. Yeah, she can text and ask.
And that's what she's going to do. Quickly be like, description, question mark.
Just under 6 feet tall, wearing a worn down camouflage hunting jacket, dark brown hair, probably acting tense or skittish.
And she'll just message back RC. And so she's going to see what the gentleman is wearing to see if it matches.
He is wearing a hunting jacket. In your opinion, you don't know how worn down the thing is, but I mean, you know, it's definitely seen somewhere.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's absolutely the quality you would wear, though. Not to get classist or anything, but you know, Samuel, you know, his take on clothes is probably a little finickier than anybody else in the coteries.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is. Just flat out, I'm saying that. Yes, it is.
So she's just gonna kind of watch him and tail him a bit. And then when he starts getting a little too aggressive with the women, kind of go up to him and be like, "Alright, sir, it's time for you to go."
The woman he's talking to, and truthfully, one or two others in the room, you see them kind of relax when you do. It's like, oh, thank goodness. Because it's not that he wasn't taking no for an answer, but he'd keep circling back around to the same people.
Mm-hmm.
What? I haven't done anything.
Maybe you haven't noticed you haven't done anything, but it's for your best interest to head out for the night.
Now, hang on a second. And then he sees where a couple of the other bouncers are, you know, they're not walking right up on you because that might escalate. But they're clearly moving to where, you know, you've got, you know, he realizes, okay, she's got backup if you know. All right, fine. And he sort of stomps out towards the door.
And as he's walking, she's quickly gonna text Samuel. Let them know he's here. Or somebody that looks like him is here. And she's gonna kind of take her break after he leaves to see where he goes and to kind of like tail him without him realizing it.
Okay, that sounds like a contested role.
Question.
What role?
Is this going to the group chat or is this just going to Samuel?
The group chat.
Okay.
Oh, that's what she assumed everybody was using to talk in.
Okay.
Samuel would have given when Maeve said in group chat, like, "Hey, what's this guy look like?" Samuel would have put in group chat that this was the description of the guy.
Okay.
Okay.
From best he could tell.
Oh, we have an ID.
Okay, so all of you got the description, and then all of you got Maeve going, he's here, or somebody looks like him is here.
And then she's going to quickly be like, I'm going to attempt to tail.
Blackjack
Just
text.
so they
Where's
know.
here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Samuel's at the hospital working.
Uh-huh.
The other two of you that get her texts, you're free to do what you want. What you want. While she hasn't talked much about her club, she's probably dropped the club's name, so you probably know more or less where it's at.
Then I'll start making my way that way in my pickup truck.
Same on foot.
Yeah, and Samuel will he'll just probably taking a break between appointments. He'll pull out his phone, send a call to Luke.
Okay, and let's see, which one was Luke?
Luke was the sheriff deputy that owes him a favor.
Ah, okay.
Samuel, seeing if he could pass the info on to Luke, sort of say, "Hey, the coterie." Well, actually, no, he wouldn't. He'll see if his coterie could do it first, because Blackjack and Maeve both are pretty strong. So his thoughts is if they can bring him in, that's a pretty good boon for the coterie, in the eyes of the Primogen Council. So.
We'll see.
Yeah, so if that doesn't work, then he'll see about getting backup from the deputies.
Alright.
So.
You know what Jolene needs? Jolene needs a bicycle. Because she's a vampire, she wouldn't get tired, so she could basically pedal at max speed.
No, I need her to have a Harley now. I need her to have a Harley now.
She becomes the Amblin logo. She hits a bump.
No, a Vespa.
Wow.
She'll save up for something with a motor.
A
Just
scooter.
imagine, just
One of,
like,
those one of those pocket bikes.
imagine like
Motor
3 months down the road, she's got this like skull helmet and like spiked leather jacket, just like a big old Harley. One of those like
just
lean back
for no
things.
that
Wow,
and
Jolene,
just
that's very Ruha.
a motor scooter, small little thing that's easy to
She's gonna keep riding the bus if y'all keep this up.
In Huntsville, they call them shuttles.
Yes, they are shuttles. So-
yeah.
I'm gonna yeet the bus at the club.
Shuttles
Yeet
are
the
small
bus.
as buses go, so yeah.
Whoosh.
Do you have potence? I don't remember.
I have potence too.
Do you have potence? Okay, I couldn't remember if you had potence or not.
Mhm.
I knew you had fortitude.
I have fortitude 2 and potence 2.
Fair enough. Okay.
No presents,
No presents.
which I think presents is the other Bruja one.
Yeah, presents.
Yeah.
I don't remember why Annabelle has Auspex in LA by Night, but it's fine.
Oh. Probably her hunting.
Yeah.
Preferred hunting style.
Or
Maybe.
experience spent, because you can theoretically any
She
kindred
would-
can learn any discipline. But
Well, in the with that, she was like the bare bones baby vampire, so I didn't understand it, but
Probably
it's fine.
hunting
yeah,
style.
it's probably.
Different campaign.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'll start chucking my way that way.
alright, so both of y'all heading that way.
Mhm.
Alright, so I was saying, Maeve, that it is a contested role. Because you're trying to tell him without being noticed, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, I would call that probably wits
Mhm.
and stealth. Yeah, wits and stealth.
Stealth.
Versus his wits and awareness.
Wits. Not stealth. But I succeeded in hunger.
So, I'm not gonna tell you to do it, but you can if you want to. Use a point of willpower to reroll.
That what?
Okay, you can spend a point of your, or you can take a point of superficial willpower damage
Uh-huh.
to re-roll up to 3 dice, though you cannot re-roll your hunger dice.
That's fine. I passed my hunger dice, so that's fine.
So you could re-roll of those other 4 you rolled. You could re-roll 3 of them.
Okay.
There
so
is
how do
a-
I...
There's a reroll. Yeah, it is where your willpower is on your
Just hit-
sheet. It says WP reroll.
Uh-huh.
I think that's what you use.
Let's see, where is that at?
Reroll 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Submit. Man, got 1 success.
All right. Well, that gets you up to 2 successes anyway.
And then just tick off the willpower on your sheet.
Versus his 4.
Yeah.
Okay, only one of those. Only one was a 10. Shucks. So yeah, 2 successes to 4.
He notices.
You follow for maybe a block before he glances back and sees you, and he does a very noticeable double take. And then he just kind of yells down the sidewalk at you. Are you following me?
She just doesn't answer.
Let's see, is he a... He picks up his pace a little bit. And kind of the first gap between buildings he comes to, he ducks down the alley.
Okay. She's gonna kind of give chase.
And when you round the corner, let's see.
Well, you were laying
Turn on
in
your
the
look-
perfect spot before. Why?
Turn on your location. I just want to talk.
Okay, is he gonna roll or not? Alright, so when you first round the corner, you don't see him. Go ahead and give me an awareness roll if you're, want to try to spot him.
Awareness with anything? Wits
Yeah, probably
or-
wits.
Ooh.
You don't see him, but you hear a rustling behind this dumpster. Like he ran down the alleyway and just jumped behind the dumpster right quick.
Okay. And she's gonna try to slowly walk towards the dumpster.
Okay, slowly as to not make noise.
Yeah, that's not make noise.
Send your location, metagaming pigeon. Hoot, 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 hoot.
Hey,
I mean-
I wasn't kidding.
I mean, she probably would have when she didn't answer him look for the street that she was on, or close enough to,
Mm-hmm.
and then just pull out her phone as she's slowly walking towards the dumpster and just type alleyway.
Alleyway
After, like, the
between, this
Mhm.
street and this store or whatever it was.
Yeah. And then after that, dumpster. Just to give a better location in the
as
alley.
I get within, I don't know. I activate.
All right, you were cutting in and out there. What was that now?
Sorry. As I get like within a block, I guess I activate prowess.
Okay. And that's good for a scene once you do that, isn't it?
I don't know if it's a rouse check or not.
We can check right quick.
I don't have the book in front of me.
That's okay. I've got yours in a Google Doc.
Hmm.
All right, blackjack, potence, prowess. 1 rouse check.
Okay, Scully, no, baby girl, mommy doesn't need you falling because you lost your sense of cat balance because
That
you're
beast
awake
is-
now.
I got that beast on lock.
This is gonna be the new face of Maeve.
That will happen if you frenzy.
It could.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just imagining. I'm just imagining Maeve's beast is just a cat that just sits there, just like, feed me. Wine, 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 wine.
Turn into
Feed
Vinny.
me. Wow.
Just turn into Vinny. Oh my god.
It only
So-
comes out at 6 o'clock.
So the more Gangrel frenzies, the more animal figures they get. As Maeve slowly gets pissed off, every time she gets pissed off, she slowly morphs more and more into an anime cat girl. It's the cat eyes. Now she's got the ears.
Eventually the tail.
Are you at a convention? Stop it.
Somewhere
she-
SpaceX is like has her location.
Doesn't she violate the masquerade just walking around? No, she just tells people she's cosplaying, and they're like, okay.
It's a body horror scene. So I'm good at my potence.
All right. You walk up to the dumpster with no issues. You know, other than that, you know, like shoe scraping on the ground or whatever it was you heard initially. You know, he's been silent otherwise.
Sorry, I'd also say when I get there, I kind of like I do the classic park the truck right there, so it's like blocks off the other side of the alleyway.
It's gonna take you a
Uh-huh.
minute to get there. Calm down.
I know. I'm just saying. Go for it. The stage is yours, Rap. I'm sorry.
So what's Maeve doing?
She's just gonna kind of whisper, come out, wherever you are. And then just wait to see what he does.
And he does. He springs out at Maeve.
Okay.
He looks a little different now. You can see claws extending out of his hands.
Okay.
And his fangs are fully extended. He comes up very quickly, not supernaturally quickly, just very quickly. Up and around from the edge of the dumpster. What would he say? It could have been anybody. I guess you brought this on yourself.
Gangrel fight. Gangrel fight.
I mean, she's gonna kind of go more into a lax state, kind of to be a bit more flexible in her movements and not just like tense up a bit. Be like, well, bring it on, big boy.
Alright, so he's... He is... Let's see... He's making the attempt to basically grab you by both arms. And I assume you're going to respond.
By kind of moving quickly out of the way.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to make any kind of retaliatory strike against him?
I mean, if he does grip, she's gonna headbutt him in the face.
Okay. So, combat in this game is... It's less... In D&D, it's a little more... You know, you take a whack, they take a whack. You take a whack, they take a whack. I mean, even in D&D, they tend to describe it as an exchange, but it's not usually how it gets played out. In this one, you'll make a contested roll. You know, you'll make a roll versus his roll. And whichever one of you wins, the margin that you win by is how much damage the other one takes.
Okay.
Truthfully, it reminds me a little bit of Powered by the Apocalypse games like Monster of the Week, where anytime you attack somebody, there's a chance of you taking damage.
Yeah.
So he is going to be using his Brawl and Dex. That's just kind of his baseline fighting. And it will be versus... probably your brawl and dex, unless you've got a melee weapon you're going to use. You know, you were describing it as a headbutt, so
Yeah, no melee weapon, just a headbutt.
okay. Now you can choose to rouse the blood to increase one of your stats if you wanted to.
Okay.
Either your dex for or actually would it be dex and brawl or strength and brawl?
Probably strength? Question mark? It's probably up to you.
Oh, I'm wrong. He might have been supernaturally fast, but just a little bit. All right. So yeah, he's gonna go with dex and brawl. But like I said, you could burn a willpower, or make a rouse check rather, to increase one of your stats. You know, like dex if you were wanting to hit better, or strength if you want the headbutt to do more damage. But basically, so anyway, what he's trying to do, he's trying to grab you by the arms and kind of lunge forward like he's going straight in for a bite.
Okay.
So he's going to roll his dex and brawl with a +1 for his grapple specialty. Now, let's see. Let me glance at your sheet. Do you have any combat specialties? No. Alright, so it's just your straight dex brawl. Alright, so you got 2 successes. He got 4. So the margin of difference there is 2. Plus, crap. What is the vampire teeth? What damage do they do? Are they +1 damage? Alright, if protein is used.
He would remove 2 dice from his pool
Oh, that's right, there is a penalty when you're trying to bite.
to attempt a bite attack, yeah. Regardless of the number of successes rolled, Vampire Fangs do 2 points of damage with a win on the brawl roll. Fangs deal aggravated health damage to mortals and vampires.
Okay, that's right. I had forgotten about the penalty he would take.
See, on turns following the successful bite attack, Vampire can feed from the target. At this point, Vampire suffers no penalty to their brawl pool. A successful bite is hard to dislodge.
Okay. Well, I did not give him the penalty, so rather than bite, right now he's just trying to grapple. He's sinking his claws into the arms. But he is not going to bite this round then. Did I not? Ah, there it is, the killer's disciplines.
There's also, if he feeds from Maeve, he risks becoming bloodbound to her.
Well, that's a 3-step process, but
Yeah.
Alright, Feral Whip. Oh, there is a rouse check involved because he popped his claws. Let's see. Okay, he does not get any hungrier, which is probably for the best.
You failed it.
Oh wait, that was right. I was thinking that was a 10, but no, that's 0 successes. My bad. Alright, so that's got him up to that. I'll figure out how to read these things eventually.
We're gonna get used to it by the finale.
Alright, so let's see. Feral Weapons, when activated, adds 2 plus 2 to their brawl damage. Causes aggravated health levels. Let's see. Just a second, I cut and pasted his power, but apparently I left part of it off. Huh. Claws don't do aggravated damage anymore. Weird. Does aggravated damage to mortals, superficial damage inflicted... Okay, but it's super, so it counts as superficial, but you don't have it like you normally would. Okay. So it still has some advantage. Alright, so... After all that... So he beat you by 2. So that is 2 plus 2 for the claws, so that is 4 superficial damage you take.
Okay, so I just take out 4 red boxes?
That is correct.
I think it's your willpower that takes off first.
No.
It's,
That's
she
it? Okay.
she puts a mark on the red boxes because once she goes over that total she has in her health of superficial damage, it starts turning into aggravated damage.
Ah. Okay.
Oh,
I-
and the white ones.
Okay.
No, the white ones are the ones you... Oh, no, wait. I'm looking at humanity. Let me get to where the health is.
Okay.
All right,
See how it works now.
the red filled in ones are the levels that you have. If you click on it once, it puts 1 slash. That's superficial damage.
Okay.
So then you click the next one on up till you had the 4 filled in, or the 4 with the slash.
Cool.
Okay.
You're gonna get used to this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is what, session 2. Yeah. First combat.
So she has 4 health. She just filled her superficial damage track.
She should have more than
If
4.
I had 4 health.
Yeah, I was saying if she
Oh yeah,
had
yeah,
4.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, if she had 4, she just filled her superficial track. So if he hits her again, she starts taking aggravated damage.
Yeah. I think so.
But you have more than 4 health, so
Hopefully. Unless you're like the DPS and I'm the tank, and we're just in the wrong positions.
I mean, it depends on how much health you have.
A lot more than 4.
So do I.
Yeah. Both of y'all should have quite a bit more than that. But
I think you have like what 7 or 8
8.
ish. Yeah.
I got 8.
I have 9.
So we're kind of in the opposite role since you kind of have 1 more health than me, but it's fine.
Y'all are meat shields. It's fine.
Anyway, now generally speaking, superficial damage gets halved for vampires. And it's like if a mortal walked up and knifed you, you'd only take half damage from it. But the claws that most gangrel have don't do aggravated, but they do full, not the half. So,
Okay.
and once that track fills up, you'd go through and you'd click them again, and it'd put an X, which represents aggravated damage. And after after the superficial is filled up, you become impaired, which is -2 to the dice pools, I think. To any physical rolls you had to make for health damage. Willpower damage, it would be the mental and social that you take the penalty to. Sorry, I was answering somebody on the chat and lost the train. Okay. So yeah, his claws sink into your arms. You get the definite impression that he's moving in to try a bite next time.
Okay.
Let me give him an awareness roll right quick. Ooh. It's 3 successes all on his hunger dice, but no
Awareness.
no crits
of
or anything.
anything
So.
around him. That's good though.
No, he got 3, so he's very aware.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
In fact, you see,
Oh, the hunger dice also going with the awareness. Okay.
right, your hunger dice replace regular dice in your die pool.
Okay.
It's not extra dice you get. It's just out of that die pool, 3 of them are hunger dice.
Okay.
So if they came up 10s, that can cause something bad. If you fail the roll and the hunger dice is a 1, that's a critical failure, or
Okay.
whatever they call it. Boy, my nose is itching. Anyway, claws sink in. It's like he's coming in for a bite, and then his eyes get wide. Oh shit, you're cold.
And with that slight distraction for him noticing,
Mhm.
I'm gonna rouse. See if it works. It doesn't rouse. I rouse, but I get hungry.
Yes, you rouse,
Right?
but yeah, rouses don't, if you're trying to jack up a stat, that never fails. It's just a matter if you get hungry or not.
Okay. And I'm gonna brawl. I'm gonna increase my strength for this one. It's
Okay.
rouse. I'm gonna brawl and strength. And kick him in the no square.
Ow, vicious.
See if this works. Do I add modifier? No, right? No, because I added the 1 extra. So.
Would you add 1 because... Oh, no, man.
Let's see. Technically called shots. Let's see here. Alright, stakes. Called shots. We won't go with the called shot rules because what you're doing isn't, it's not literally going to be causing him extra damage. Though it would probably make him let you go.
The point of it.
Let's see. So yeah, that'd be contested. So give me your brawl versus his. As he is freaking out and starting to slash at you. Let's go one arm to kind of slash. Let's go with his left
Okay.
arm.
Okay,
This is not a grapple
so-
at this point, so no specialty.
So it's brawl against
Yeah, it's still brawl.
Brawl with Dex? Or is it strength?
Let me see what this says. All right. Raw page 160. Alright, let's see. Brawl, levels, character swing, fist, boot, claw. Okay, it does not specifically say, so use whichever one you prefer. Alright, so that is 2. He got 2, you got 3. Alright, so you have done an aggravated, or not aggravated, but
Superficial problem.
yeah, and what is your, let's say, I don't think, fists don't get a bonus. But I think you get one for having for jacking your stat up. We're gonna go with that for right now anyway. Alright, so you beat him by 1. And +1 for rousing the blood. So that's 2 superficial. Since you're just using your fist, the superficial gets halved, so he takes 1. About this time, Dicka, you're pulling up.
Again, I park it to where it blocks off. Big honking truck. It's not like a giant. It's not like a big lifted truck or whatever, but it's one of those old Chevys.
It's a decent size, truck
Yeah.
you use on a farm. All right.
I'm not being subtle at all.
Let's see. She gave you the street she was on, so you would be on the side that she came in from.
Yeah. Okay.
Glancing down, you see a guy kind of clawing at, you pull up just in time to see him take a slash at her as she just rears back and just kicks him in the delicate bits.
Yeah. Done.
You
he's
know.
gonna.
Despite being dead, he gets the same look on his face that anybody would get in that situation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Alright.
And Maeve, he looks at you. How many of you are there in this city?
All right. If I
More
have
than you know.
rain to go, then I will just head on over and give him a good old clock in the mouth.
All right, so you pull up. They have
Yeah,
that exchange. That's this round.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Jolene was running.
Yeah, she'll probably get there sometime tonight.
I just like the image of an Uber pulls up and she hops out.
That could work.
And the driver's like, is there a fight over there? Do I need to call the police?
Here's your tip. Goodbye.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. They had that exchange. Let's see. So he see, let's see, and about what's Blackjack's a pretty big dude, ain't he?
Like I said, I'm not being subtle in the slightest.
All right, then. This round, he is going to try to make a getaway.
He's the one that put himself in an alley.
Yeah, but there's two of you now.
Yeah, but he has to
And
go
you're both
my
cold.
way. He has to come my way.
Well, it's an alleyway, you know. He leads back
Yeah.
behind the buildings.
He has to come this way to me.
Why doesn't he just continue down the way he was going?
I don't know. I figured there's like a fence or something. Why would he stop by a dumpster if there's more direction to go? That doesn't make sense to me.
That's because you don't know
Thought
what's
he
going
could
on.
hide.
No, I don't.
So yeah, he turns around, he takes off away from you.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm running.
how fast can you run?
I'm not supernaturally fast, but I'm pretty fast.
Oh, you're probably not going to catch this guy then. He's moving, he's not moving car fast or anything, but he's moving faster than people's move. So this will be, he's going to make an athletics. Yeah. Pretty much. It's,
Okay.
you know, if this was out, you know, it's in an alleyway, so not a whole lot of people are necessarily looking at it.
Sure.
So he's going to make an athletics dexterity check. Maeve, are you gonna try to punch him, grappling, or just gonna chase
She's
him?
gonna tackle.
Okay.
She's gonna tackle.
Go ahead and give me a brawl, strength or dex, whichever you want. Go ahead and give me a brawl.
Ooh.
Let me make sure he doesn't.
Success on every dice. Nice. Oh.
Success. 5-5. Okay.
So you're not really trying to do damage here, but he's not trying to damage you back either. So you manage to grab him, but as he takes off, you get shook off pretty quick. You know, you don't get a good grip, but he drags you about 6 feet before you lose your grip.
Do I take the jacket with me? Or does he keep that?
Yeah, I'll say you pull the jacket off. You know, that the jacket was all you got to hold up, so he just kind of throws his arms back, lets it slide off. Runs at preternatural speeds, leaps. There is a fence back there, kind of hits the fence at the halfway point and just springs himself over. Blackjack, that looks like something he's done before. That looks like something he probably practiced.
Okay.
Parkour! He hits the ground on the other side, looks up at you, and takes off.
I'll
The expression on his face makes you think of a scared rabbit.
before he like gets too far where my voice can still carry, he'll yell, "Don't do that again!"
All
And I
right.
immediately turn to Maeve and be like, you alright? Got some
Yeah. She gets up and she kind of dusts herself off a bit and holds the
Look like
jacket.
you.
At least I got this.
you got some pretty he's like pushing the jacket away. You got some pretty nasty marks there.
Nothing I can't heal from.
Alright. Hold it steady. The jacket. Asking you to hold
She
it. Like,
holds it.
take a picture and send it to send it to Samuel. You're muted.
Hospital. Send.
Well, come on, you can get in my truck.
Yeah, she
Gonna be a
goes.
long-
She's like, okay.
It's gonna be a long lunch break.
Yeah.
Jolene's just still running somewhere.
Well, we texted the group chat, so like Jolene would probably get that.
That was in the complete opposite damn direction.
Well, you've got a phone. Pick me up.
I think maybe she'd maybe run into the guy that's running away. Probably not.
On
On your left.
What direction would they be coming? Would she be coming from?
Are you gonna roll a dice for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna even audit
I
basically.
mean,
Okay.
I mean, that could end badly if Thin Blood got up against a gangrel.
All right, Sarah, for Jolene, even or odd. If it's the one you call, you run into him, or you're at least going in the right directions.
Even.
All right, you're just trucking it, trying to get here. You don't see anybody. Truthfully, people are looking at you, as you seem to be in such a hurry.
It's just weirdo doing jogging at 2 a.m.
It's cooler to jog now. Just get my workout before work. Have a good one.
Let's see. She hunted for a couple of hours. It's probably about 11 at this point. 11, maybe 12.
Okay.
So a little late to be jogging, but
Running before my shift. How you doing?
Depends on who you ask.
Some of the people know, probably at least her mom's a bit off, so they probably expect her to be a bit off.
well, if she doesn't live. Oh, let's see. Were you visiting the mother at the time?
Probably drops by every now and then, but she grew up in this town, so.
Okay. Well, it's a decent sized city. If your mother doesn't live in this neighborhood, people probably aren't that aware of her.
Yeah.
Except for the people that have a tendency to look at the arrest reports and stuff. Oh, drunk and disorderly again. Public intoxication again. So yeah, for sake of expediency, we'll say they pick you up as they head to the hospital.
Just jumps in the back of the truck.
That is not legal. But it's the middle of the night. It's the
Jumps in
world,
the back of the truck, lies down.
and it's the world
Okay.
of darkness. The police have other things to be worrying about.
It is legal if Blackjack has seatbelts back there.
It's a tractor truck. Of course he has seatbelts back there. He has to hitch the hay bales up there.
Technically legal. In Alabama.
Interesting.
Technically legal is the best type of legal.
Alright.
I'll look back there like, those belts are made for hay bales, but you
I'm just
gotta-
gonna lay down.
Yeah, okay. Buckle up anyway.
Just don't take any jumps or anything.
No promises. I take the first jump I see.
Luckily, on roads in Huntsville, there's not that many jumps.
Let's count speed bumps.
Speed over every speed bump.
No, just the first one.
You ass.
That's for the cows.
I haven't had that you know of.
Anyway, so yeah, you get to the hospital without any issue. Now, how is Maeve going to hide these slashes on her arms?
That's the point. She's coming to see Samuel. He's gonna
Yeah.
fix it.
We could do that, yeah.
Out.
Now, is Samuel the emergency room doctor?
That's one of the reasons why he works there at night. Yeah.
Okay.
I will absolutely come in. I'm not gonna make a scene or anything, but I'm just gonna go to the front clerk and say,
We just text him that we're here.
we can text him that we're here. I'm still gonna go through all the motions, pretend like we're kind.
Okay. Oh dear, what happened to her? Starts handing you
It
paperwork.
was a terrible fight. Like we and someone just attacked her. We need to get this looked at immediately.
Oh yes. Well, here, fill this out, and set her down over there, and
I've just gotten her calm.
Yeah.
I need to see somebody as soon as I can.
And the wounds look pretty bad, so. And I'm assuming Maeve has not tried to burn any blood to heal them, so. Or arouse the blood to heal them.
No.
So they're still leaking some. They look bad. She checks some paperwork, kind of seeing who else is in the waiting room. Because the emergency room, waiting room is never going to be empty.
Never ever.
But apparently your wounds look a lot worse than anybody else's goings on. So you kind of get bumped to the top of the list. Which means you only have to wait 10 minutes before they lead you back to Dr. Because they wouldn't call him Samuel. They would call him...
Dr. Caldwell.
Caldwin.
Yes.
And those 10 minutes feel like forever.
Just out of spite, you bleed all over the seats.
Right, just like...
Jolene at this point is just shaking her head like, we're gonna have to work on this. Y'all ain't been around humans recent.
Everybody in the waiting room, give me awareness checks.
Wits awareness.
Yes, wits awareness.
Oof, 2 10s.
I got none.
Why isn't mine rolling?
I got a.
There you go.
Is that a messy critical or is that a regular critical?
Regular. Only one
Maeve
zero.
got a messy critical.
Is that? That's what I'm asking. Is that a messy critical?
Yes, that is a messy critical.
Yeah, because I got 2 10s. 1 on
Yeah.
each.
And one's on the hunger die.
Yeah. So, what does that mean?
Let's look it up. I mean, I pretty much remember, but
You have to have 2 10s for it to be a messy, correct?
correct. So you're
Yeah, but
fine. Maeve got a messy though.
Mm-hmm.
I only got 1 success.
This time I hope I don't fail it and I get messy.
All right. A critical win in which 1 or more 10s appear on the hunger dice is a messy critical. The character succeeds, as in a regular critical, but like an animal would, not a being capable of foresight or self-control. The beast scored the critical, perhaps, not you.
Okay.
Okay, so the character can gain 1 or more stains for their monstrous action. That doesn't really apply in this case. The
Okay,
character
good.
breaches the masquerade as they visibly demonstrate supernatural strength, speed, or leave a gaping bite wound in a body. Character loses 1 dot from an advantage. Like if you crippled a retainer or offended an ally. Or you could lose status. If none of these above conditions fit the narrative, such as on a stealth or awareness test, the messy critical turns into a simple mess, and the test fails as the beast clouds the senses or otherwise makes quiet solutions unattainable.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
So it just nullifies the critical.
If there's no way to reasonably make it messy,
Which we're not if we're just making
'Cause,
an awareness check and she's just sitting there bleeding.
there's nothing. There's nothing that would give her a stain on her morality out of an awareness roll. You're not really going to breach the masquerade with an awareness roll. Unless you were, hearing somebody whispering, 100 yards away or something, just flipping impossible.
Even that's not like that. Even that's not really a breach unless somebody unless you say something about it.
Well, and that's the trick. If it's a messy critical, that means you shouted about it or, made it obvious.
What'd you say?
Yeah, that kind of thing. But everybody got at least one.
Mhm.
So all three of you hear the nurse calling the police.
Well, damn.
You said there was a fight. If somebody shows up with a bullet wound, they call the police immediately. If somebody shows up with a knife
bullet wound.
wound,
Yo.
they don't know what kind of fight you were in, but clearly somebody carved you up. It's not. She's not calling the police in a panic. She's just making the report. Oh yeah,
Sure. I'll go up and if I've noticed that they're calling the police.
Yeah. All three of you have noticed that.
Okay.
In Maeve's case, since it was messy, I'm going to say that Maeve probably jumps up and screams at the lady to hang up the phone. Has a little overreaction to it. Not actually like masquerade breaching or anything, but
Listen, I work at a club. No need to call the damn police for this.
Yo.
Maeve,
Chill out.
it's okay. It's all right. We're gonna get this settled. Ma'am, if you would, please. We really don't need anything right now.
I'm sorry. It's procedure.
I understand it's
in a case
procedure.
like this, we have to put in a report. Have you filled out the paperwork she handed you?
Yeah, I would have filled it out.
Okay. It's asking for proof of insurance, for
Sure.
Maeve's name and all that.
I give them what I know, and then I have Maeve fill out the rest.
So basically, you just hand it to Maeve because.
I like
Okay.
fill out the name Maeve, and then I give her the rest of it.
So what has Maeve written down on this form prior to the woman making a phone call?
She has insurance through her job, bouncer and whatnot. She made sure to get that.
That's right. And she's young enough. She's still got her actual original identity. Nobody, the government doesn't realize you're dead yet.
Yeah, but to be like 84 and looking pretty young is a bit
Okay, you might have moved on to a next identity by that point then.
yeah.
But you have got a legal identity that you have your job.
I do. I
Okay.
have like 2 points in mask,
Okay, yeah,
So-
you're good then.
so I'm good on that.
I think yours is also zeroed, so you actually officially don't exist.
Officially, yeah. I don't exist. My old life anyway
Yeah.
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
Blackjack is like, ma'am, I understand this is procedure, but this is just something that happens every day at her. The authorities had already been notified at the club. It's just we need to just to have this taken care of, and see to it that she's able to get back to work as soon as possible. We don't need to worry about I'm trying to be persuasive here.
She does not look like she's buying it, but you can make a roll for certain.
Okay.
Manipulation.
Mm-hmm. Persuasion?
Yes. Manipulation, persuasion.
Okay.
It's going to be a pretty high difficulty because this is, this is
I
stuff
got
that could get her fired if they found out she had not made the report like she was supposed to.
Alright. I will... Shit. I can't do that. I was gonna say I would make a burn of willpower, but
Nope, you
kind
can
of
do,
stuck where I am.
you can do that for rerolls, but not
I can't do that. I can't do that for Hunger Die. So, and I would only be doing 1 dice, so it's not really worth it, really. So, yeah, I'll take the 2.
Jolene is face palming this entire time.
She's like, I'm awful sorry, but we have certain rules that we have to follow here, and and I've yeah, I mean they're already setting an officer by, so
All right.
And then she goes back to finishing giving the police the information. Hangs up. She does ask you, what club is it she works at?
Maeve, what club do you work at?
Yeah, what is the name of your club, Maeve?
No pressure.
the storyteller getting a notepad.
I know.
Under the radar.
Yeah, but she's just gonna like give a. I mean, no, yeah.
Actual name.
Huh?
Just give the actual name.
Yeah, she's gonna give the actual name.
Okay, what's the actual name?
Radar. Under the.
Under the radar. I think we may have discussed that before.
Yeah, we did. I just don't have the right book that I wrote everything down for information in.
Yeah, I failed to write it down last time. So. Oh no, it was below the radar.
Below
Below
the
the
radar.
radar.
I did write it down last time. So. I just didn't put it in my show notes. All right.
Julian's like, I'll just go ahead and call your boss and let him know we got here safe. I know they were worried about you.
Thank you, Jolene.
And
Gives that grin like, next time please let me talk to the humans.
and about that time they get
Acceptable.
ushered back to where Samuel is.
Yeah. And Samuel will meet them. Then it's like, well, I see you all had an eventful night.
We don't have long, Bob. The police are on the way.
I'll deal with that.
Please and thank you.
Well, you know the police will want to talk to the victim,
Oh yeah, he knows.
but you'll be
But
the one that will have the medical report filled out that they'll want to see.
Right.
So
He'll get to work
Dressing.
tending to the wounds. Believably.
She'll just let
One
it bleed,
Snoopy sticker.
just in case if the police actually want to look. She's just not gonna rouse it to make them go away.
Yeah,
yeah.
if the humans notice it.
well,
what he'll do is he'll like wipe the blood off, like tend to a few of the wounds, and then he'll tell her, rouse a little to heal some of it. We want this to look less severe than it is.
So, I guess I'll make another rouse check then.
yes.
If she wants to.
I succeed.
All right, so you don't get any hungrier, and
Heals, I think, 1 point of superficial damage.
yeah, I think so. I think one for each. Yeah, because it's basically one superficial for each rouse she makes. Aggravated damage, you can only try that once a night.
Yeah.
I think you also have to make more rouse checks if it's aggravated.
It may be 2 rouse checks, but you can only make the check, I think, once every night when you wake up or something.
Mhm.
Me double checking.
So the shallower cuts heal up completely. The deeper ones are no longer as deep, but are still.
And those are the ones that Samuel will tend to
Okay.
make them look a little bit less severe.
More like knife wounds, less like claw wounds.
Basically, he'll make them look like knife wounds.
Mhm. Well, and by the time the police show up, you can have them completely bandaged.
Mm-hmm.
What police show up?
Do you have police contacts?
He does have one. He has Luke.
I thought Luke was the.
Luke is one of the sheriff deputies.
Yeah, that's the.
A
That's
literal
the.
sheriff
That's the
deputy.
kindred.
Yeah.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm asking is, do any kindred police show up? Or are these just kind?
Oh no, these are just kind. There's no
Okay.
kindred on the police force. Just kindred that have contacts in the police force.
Got it. Okay.
That we know of.
So yeah, 2 officers show up.
Mhm.
The receptionist lady, or maybe it's a nurse, whoever it is that runs the desk, shows them back to you. She knocks on the door, asks if,
Yes.
if they're ready to. The police are here to take a report.
Understood.
By this point, Maeve, you have gotten a text from the club asking where you're at because you've been on break for a while. That would probably have happened before the police got here. But
Yeah.
so, what do you tell the boss?
Would you like my
Well, it's one of the other bouncers that sends it, but his thing is the boss is
Yeah.
asking.
got attacked on break at hospital, be back soon.
Take a picture of it.
It's the truth.
It is.
She was
Yeah, and you can
attacked
take
on
a
her
picture of the
break.
bandage with just a little bit of blood showing through.
Yeah. Send it.
Uh,
Be back soon.
the immediate response is, "Oh, poop emoji,"
Amazing.
followed by, "Was it that bastard you kicked out?"
Yeah.
Just a couple minutes later, you get a text directly from your boss. Hope you're okay. Hey, just take the rest of the night off. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about coming back. Call me. Text me tomorrow or something. Let me know how you doing.
And she'll send him a thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
Band-aid emoji. Thumbs up emoji. Blood emoji.
Your boss can be a pain every now and then. He's not a complete ass.
Mm-hmm.
So the police come in. They want to take a report. What is your story for them? Pretty close to the truth.
Basically, more or less, kicked the guy out the bar that was harassing the women, went on break, kind of checked to make sure he wasn't trying to come back to harass the women, and he attacked me, and then ran off.
Bastard had a knife.
Yeah, we won't require a roll for that because that's real close to the truth. You've got Samuel is here to back up. Oh yeah, it was knife wounds.
And he'll have a believable report made with believable medical statistics because her blood is roused, so she technically is under the blush of life right now. So she looks living.
Well, that would take a second. That would take its own individual rouse check to do that.
Yeah, true. I keep.
But she doesn't. I mean, she looks pale, but not like she's dead or anything.
Yeah.
Now, if the officer walked up and started feeling over her, oh yeah, she's room temperature, freaky. But they don't get that handsy, so.
Mm-hmm.
They just look around and go, man, there's a lot of pale folks in this room.
Listen,
Jolene's
I'm
the only one
anemic,
who looks
okay?
alive.
I'm anemic. I'm always cold.
But they ask you, hey, did you know who this guy was? Was he a regular? Had you seen him in the club before?
New guy. Wouldn't stop harassing the women. Never seen him before.
Okay. So they take their full report. They ask the other two of you, what's your thing here, and you can tell them whatever.
I just Good Samaritan that drove by.
Okay, well, he's like, it's nice enough that you drove her up here. Well, I don't know. Would they tell you should call an ambulance next time? Because there'd be more waiting. Yeah.
Not about. I would never have someone pay $500 just to ride an ambulance. That's bullshit.
They're like, yeah, I can understand that. This is what we're supposed to tell people.
Yeah, I understand. Just,
But
no.
So yeah, they tell you they hope they get they get whatever description you'll give of the guy. And they comment they're gonna send somebody by the club to get ask the description there, see if there's any video footage of the guy. And, they tell you I hope the rest of your night goes better for you.
One moment. Yeah, as they're leaving, Samuel will make eye contact with them.
Okay.
Boy.
And we'll tell them, get a copy of the footage to Luke Barnes. and he will activate his dominate power.
Alright, now, is that one of the ones that they don't get to resist if they're not prepared?
Yes. Against an unprepared mortal, they have no resistance, and it automatically succeeds.
Well, they certainly were not prepared for mind control.
Usually, like a Second Inquisition would be like the prepared ones.
Yeah, people that know vampires are real, even, you know.
Yeah.
Right, get it to Luke. So yeah, they're just kind of like, yeah, no problem.
Have a good night, officers.
Oh, you too, Doc. And you may have seen these officers before, you know. It's an emergency room. This is not the first time the police have had to show up to check something out.
Yeah.
So they take their leave. By this point, let's see, we'll say it was 12 when the fight went down. You've probably been here for an hour. So it's 1-ish as the police are leaving.
Well, and as they're in the room, as he's finishing his last checks and stuff. Well, I was hoping you all could have caught him, but he'll sort of thumb to the jacket. That works if there's any identification in it.
We'll pat the
Have you
pocket,
checked?
see if there's anything in there. No,
No, not yet.
we went here ASAP.
So y'all want to check out the jacket?
I'll start going through it and see if there's any ID.
Alright, let's see. Well, you don't find his wallet, which is probably where his ID
Sure.
would be. Oh, there's a pocket knife. There's there's a cell phone, but the battery seems to be run down on it. It's a little cheap like flip phone.
Sure.
I can find a probably charger for it to see.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a USB, micro USB or whatever. So, there's a few receipts. Let's see. I mean, it's like a Walmart receipt where he bought some shoes. There's it's a couple months old, and from the address it's a Walmart in Arab, which is basically on the highway the next town south of Huntsville. Let's see what else. And there is a old receipt from some place called Penn's Hamburgers. Which catches your eye because he shouldn't be eating hamburgers.
What is with people in this place? What is with the kindred in this place wanting to eat cows?
Which is older.
Dude, you're a farmer. You're all about eating cows. That's what cows are for.
I'm a dairy farmer.
The Walmart one. Which one's older?
The Penn hamburger. The Walmart one's a few weeks old. The Penn hamburger one's a couple months old.
So maybe he is just recently turned.
Let's see. Excuse me, it's CF Penn's Hamburgers. Get the name right. How many of you have any kind of local knowledge?
Any what? Sorry.
Any sort of local knowledge?
As I see everybody on the cameras look at Sarah.
I mean, what would that be like considered under? I mean, she's lived here her whole mortal life, so.
That's
At
true.
least on my combo of Zoom, just like everybody looked at Sarah simultaneously there. That was
I was
good.
technically looking over at a sheet at the skill list. 'Cause
Oh yeah, it's just on
Um,
me. All of you were looking in that direction, and I just
Yeah.
let's see.
I don't have it as like a skill, but like I said,
That's right. You don't really have lore
Up there.
listed anymore. Give me an intelligence.
she's not in the room. She went out to call the boss.
That would have happened. That would have happened before the police arrived. So you could have been back in the room by the time the police got there.
She didn't know what room they went in. She left before.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
She's probably
Before
just
he was
outside, like,
pulled away.
okay. Like, like sitting on something, swinging her feet, like, just a thin blood. Just hanging out, waiting, doing thin blood things.
Blackjack also lived in this area prior to,
Yeah.
because the old family farm. So Blackjack, give me an intelligence roll.
Just straight intelligence.
Well, I really don't see a skill that would go into it.
It'd probably be streetwise if I had any, but I don't have streetwise, so it'd probably just be intelligence.
Yeah, just give me intelligence then.
My one brain cell in the
He has 2 brain cells. Will they collide?
nope. My one dice in intelligence. I
Nope.
got nothing.
You start thinking you can't think of a hamburger place in Huntsville called that.
I'm still upset that that this guy is just like the kindred in particular. Like I understand Kine eating burgers, but what is with the kindred?
Maybe that was his
Looking at my
last meal
cows.
before he was turned.
I don't know.
Jolene can technically still eat, so.
There's a handful of real kindred that can do it, and plenty of thin bloods. Oh, and one of the grossest NPCs they have in this game. One of the characters from Chicago. Huge, grossly fat kindred that he has no special ability to eat, but he does anyway. He has servants standing by with buckets when he has to spit it back out,
Ew.
Mr.
and then he makes
Ew.
some of his ghouls eat it to not waste it.
Ew.
Yeah, he's he's utterly disgusting.
Oh my god, ew.
Can we
yeah,
nuke?
Is it
Can we,
Mr. Creosote? Mr. Creosote is an NPC?
basically.
can we canonically nuke Chicago from here?
No. Chicago was one of the big boy cities.
Oh, I know.
So anyway, you've got everything wrapped up. You've reported the police. You've got all the medical report. You've made the insurance claim. You've got a cover story for her boss. So you are free to depart.
Depart we will.
So we're okay. So y'all meet up with the 2 of you leave. You meet up with Jolene outside or out in the waiting room.
I think it's gotten this as good as he's gonna get it. Let's head
And
back.
she's gonna ask Jolene if she knows where the burger place is.
Jolene, give me an intelligent streetwise.
Nah, bro.
One.
I don't have anything in Streetwise.
Oh, you got a success though.
Probably just needed one.
Ironically, it's a success on a hunger dice to identify a restaurant.
She's hungry.
You're
Uh,
always hungry.
You've only ever eaten there once or twice, but yeah, CF Pins is a kind of mom and pop hamburger joint down in Decatur. It's like an institution down there.
Should pass that on. It's like one of those things that's been around for years. keeps going because the community keeps it going.
All right. Well, that's
Where
So
the
he
guy
goes to
went
Takeda.
to many months ago.
I don't think we're
A couple of months ago.
should go.
All of you know that Decatur is a contested city.
right.
The Prince of Decatur died less than a year ago, and the Anarchs are making a hard push to take it over. When the Prince died, a couple of the Primogen down there died as well. The Tremere down there got hit pretty hard. Not that there was very many of them in Decatur, but what's left of the Primogen Council down there is rallying and fighting the Anarchs off. The city's kind of divided up at the moment. So yeah, it would be somewhat hostile territory to go down there and investigate.
Probably don't want to do that right now. Not on an empty night.
How far of a drive would it be for those of us not from the area?
It's about what, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Well, from Huntsville to Decatur, I'd say 40 minutes because it's 45 like to my house from.
Is that with traffic or without traffic?
That is without traffic for the most part.
I was gonna say it's like it's like midnight to 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
There's no traffic.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about going in right now.
I
It ain't even
agree.
gonna be
It's not a
open.
it's not a good idea to go right now. It's something we do in first thing in the evening.
No, we don't.
I'm not
'Cause
saying
every other kindred's gonna be up once the sun goes down.
I'm not saying we go now immediately. All I'm saying is if we were to go.
You really don't get what I'm saying here, do you?
What?
I can go during the day.
Oh, right. Forget sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. I forget you can
Yeah.
do that. All right. Well, I mean, I don't. You want to check in with him before you do that? It's still dangerous territory, even if you're going during the day.
Yeah, because you don't know if they might attack you.
There might also
If
be
you're
some
there
people
too
over there who
late.
can do that.
You know the Anarchs tend to attract a fair amount of Thin Bloods.
I like to think most thin bloods would appreciate each other, but it's gonna be a lot less dangerous going during the day, and during the day, even thin bloods ain't much more than humans.
And there's not a real good way for you to recognize each other if you just passed a
Yeah.
stranger.
Well, at
On
least
the other hand, amongst the Thin Bloods in the area, you are a little bit well known. Because you were the first one allowed to live in Huntsville.
you might want
During the
to
day,
take that
we're
guy's
pretty
pocket.
much kind.
You might want to take that guy's pocket knife just in case.
I got a gun.
Do you really want to be shooting it out in broad daylight?
Do I really want to be stabbing someone out in broad daylight?
Less
Seven
noise.
might be just a way to kind of
Samuel.
hide what you're doing.
Samuel's in the other room.
Yeah,
She's
that's
gonna-
what I mean.
Samuel is still in the hospital.
She's gonna walk back in.
Samuel's still got the shift to finish.
Yeah, he does. So that's to
Like,
find somebody to
look.
feed off of too.
Let's figure this shit out.
Alright, so y'all start
I'm
loading.
saying-
Y'all are out in the parking lot. Let's cut back
Yeah.
to Samuel.
Yeah.
You would have probably have done this earlier in the shift, but go ahead and give me your hunting roll.
Probably while they were doing their thing,
Yeah.
they probably would have found a lone sleeping person, preferably female, but he will feed off a male.
And preferably asleep.
Hmm.
Alright. Well, it doesn't really tell me what to, Okay, that's... Alright, that's telling me what you gain in character creation. Alright, so I guess give me a stealth roll, I suppose. So I guess dexterity stealth or... Dexterity stealth if you're just going to go feed on somebody that's sleeping. If you're targeting somebody that's like comatose or, you know, has been put under via drugs, you can make it wits stealth if you wanted to. Since that would be less not waking them up and more doing this without any passing nurses or stuff, anybody noticing.
Yeah.
Or you could always be hitting the break room where you figure one of the nurses has their head laid down.
Well, he's gonna find somebody who's asleep. And he's gonna try that.
Okay.
So you said wit stealth?
Yes, wit stealth if you want to make sure that no passersby notice.
Well,
Well, hang on. If you're just trying to find somebody who's just asleep, it's dex stealth as to not wake them up.
yeah. To which he's gonna have a very mild anesthetic to keep them under for a little bit.
Are you telling me that your doctor is going to roofie somebody?
That's what he does.
Creeper. All right.
No wonder there's talk about the shortage of.
That is his specialty, is anesthetics.
All right. Give me a roll.
Medicine.
I guess wits and stealth in this case. And while it's very strange, add your specialty dice to it.
So it wouldn't be medicine.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your medicine then.
Okay.
I guess we can go wits medicine for this in this case.
Alrighty.
This is the weirdest feeding session I've ever seen.
It's what he does. Is he does a mild anesthetic to make sure they don't wake up while he feeds. And specialty.
Alright, Samuel Codwell. Yes, you have no trouble feeding. Feeding takes a scene. You had no trouble. How much do you drink from them?
Just enough to slake one hunger.
Oh, you were only at a 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take a sip. No permanent harm done.
Yep.
I want to say you can. I want to say you can take 2 without causing permanent harm.
Yeah.
Or serious
you can
harm.
take up. You can take up to 2. Once you hit 3, you start doing damage.
Yeah.
But he's being careful not to cause any permanent harm to the person because that's his thing. Is he wants to make sure they never knew he was there. And then he'll lick the wound closed.
If he induces anesthesia, does he, as an anesthesiologist, does he get some of that in him? And he's like, whoa.
He does not.
If it was a particularly heavy dose of, like if you feed on a drug like a crack addict or something or a meth head while they're high, it can sometimes affect them.
Okay.
The mild doses he's using, because he's dosing people, that are already going to take a nap, and it's just to help keep them under for a little while.
I figured he's an anesthesiologist. He knows what he's doing, but I just thought it'd be funny.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the critical fail on one of those rolls where somebody walks by and sees him roofing somebody.
Oh,
Be like,
no.
Doctor, what are you doing?
Well, he did work at Crestwood, but not anymore.
See, that's what the dominate power is for.
You didn't see this. I didn't see that.
Basically.
Merge directive. Forget what you saw.
That's actually one of the powers of the dominate tree.
Yes.
Yes,
It's just
Cloud
Jedi
memories.
mind tricks.
Basically.
it's pretty much what it is.
Hey, it's great for preserving the masquerade.
These
what
are
he
not
uses
the
it for.
vampires you're looking for. These are not the vampires.
Did I just see you fighting a gall darn werewolf? No, you didn't. Oh, I guess I didn't.
Basically.
Really big dog.
Yeah. It's a big dog. Don't worry about it.
All right, for the rest of you driving away. Now, if you look on the map, which our viewers can't see, the little pink H up here, that is the hospital that
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Samuel works at.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were driving back, now basically you get on Whitesburg Drive here. You head down
I'd be
south.
driving everyone back to their areas, or in Maeve's case, because I don't know where her domain is. I'll drop her off at the club, unless she tells me where her domain is.
You mean her haven.
Haven, yes, sorry.
So anyway, y'all cut through this street into kind of the heart of the domain. Like I said, your domain is divided almost in half by all the farm up here, and then all the city down there, or neighborhoods, and the one really big shopping center at Valley Bend.
The other half of Whitesburg.
As you're getting close to the club, I mean, it's still a couple blocks away. There are blue lights behind you. It's police car, sirens going.
Are they actively coming for me, or are they going somewhere else?
They're coming up behind you. Sirens are going. What are you doing?
What did one of you do? And I'll pull over to the side.
They just zip past
I'll-
you.
Okay. Phew.
It's
Yeah,
two
pull over to
cars
the
just
side.
back to back.
Okay, never mind that. I won't text Samuel. Trouble with the law. What did you tell them?
Follow them.
Follow them?
Yeah.
What time is it? It's like 2?
By this
Two or
point,
three?
yeah, probably getting close to 2 anyway.
2.
Might be another mess.
Alright. I will... I mean, my car is in no shape to tail fucking police cars going at top speed. But...
They're not going at
That's
top
it.
speed, but they're going quite fast.
I'll
Sure.
say, as a player, that Gangrel's hunger was at 4.
And she's going
Yeah,
to
metagaming
text
if you were paying attention to his
Samuel.
role.
Yeah, he had a 4 in hunger. He's gonna have to feed fast.
I'm sorry, Rap, I talked right over you. What were you trying to say?
No, she's gonna text Sam. Maybe a mess. With a couple of dots. Gonna check it out.
Jolene
careful.
from the back of the pickup truck. Where are we going?
Don't worry about it, Jolene. We're not done yet with the match. Drive over.
Don't
I'll
worry about it.
follow along the police.
Okay. It's the middle of the night. There's not a whole lot of traffic. And the lights, even when you lose view of them, you can kind of keep up with where the
I
lights
could
flash.
just turn and I see lights in the distance. Yeah.
They wind up, they're going just a couple of blocks from the club. You actually drive past the below the radar.
All right.
They're in, and you when you get there, there's like 5 police cars in this little shopping center parking lot. You see a couple of officers are putting up tape. Several of them are in kind of a gap between 2 of the buildings. It's not a full alleyway like you were in before. It's literally like, a 6-foot wide little, just the space between the buildings. Then you see several of them back there with flashlights. Give me awareness rolls.
Sure.
'Cause this will be about where we wrap up.
It's awareness, wit, right?
Yes.
With awareness. Load. Roll 20.
Alright. Maeve got one success.
1 out of 5.
Maeve, let's see.
I've got
Jolene
3
got
successes.
3.
3 successes.
Maeve, you can tell it's a body that they're standing around. The other two of you, you can tell it's a woman.
All right.
You know, you can see the long hair and
Live figure.
just kind of the curve of the body.
Mhm.
This one, you don't know if they're quite clawed up as bad, but the neck has definitely been gnawed on.
No immediate sign if it's kindred or anything.
The neck is gnawed. Oh, you mean as far as the body itself? No.
Yes, I know a kindred attacked them. I don't know if it was kindred or kind.
victim.
Yeah, the victim.
But no. Other than that, they're in jeans. You assume that maybe they worked in one of the shops around here. They're wearing an apron.
She's gonna ask him, "What do you guys see? I can't see much from here."
We're not
Dead
that
lady.
far. Dead lady.
Uh,
Probably
Gnawed
worked
up
around here.
neck.
do y'all actually stop, or you just kind of slow down and rubberneck like anybody would?
Slow down, rubbernecking.
Slow down and rubberneck a bit. I'm definitely gonna kind of take a. Is it like right by where the road where we could like make that look see?
Well, you're driving on the road, and there's it's one of those little small parking lots.
Oh, okay. But
Enough that there's a row of cars that park up against the road, basically, and then one up against the shop itself.
is there like a line of cars on the highway just kind of like looking down at them?
It's 2:00 in the morning. There's you and one other car that are passing
Okay.
by, and the other guy's going slow and kind of leaning out the window too.
Don't hit me, asshole. I'm just kidding.
And then she's gonna text Sam.
I'll say as a
definite
Huntsville
mess.
native, that happens all the damn time.
Let it rain 3 or 4 drops, then get on the road.
Mm.
Same thing in
basically.
San Antonio.
Oh, that'd
So
be a
she's
great way to
definitely
trigger. That would be a great way to trigger Blackjack's Bruja Rage, though. It's traffic accident. Yes.
Yeah, just somebody just comes in, BAP!
Activate potent and hit my foot in the metal.
So why did you violate the masquerade? Some jackhole rear-ended me, so I flipped his car over.
Turn him into mush.
Hey.
Yeah, we'll all text Sam.
Definite mess.
Just everyone texting Sam. Yeah. Same.
And
three
this
names.
one is very definitely in your domain.
Mm-hmm.
This one's in the shopping
We'll
center.
definitely hear about it tomorrow.
Yeah. As he's going to his car, because I imagine his shift is pretty much over.
Yeah, but at this point.
He'll just call Luke, bring him up.
He picks up on about the 3rd ring. Yellow.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Doc.
so we had a run-in with a special somebody.
The special somebody?
Indeed. I have requested the responding officers to send information to you
Actually, I've already
As
gotten
a-
that. Yes, the
as a trusted point of contact. He seemed famished when driven off.
Ooh, that's not going to be good. Somebody's going to have a bad night.
Be on your guard, my friend.
Will do. Thanks for the info.
Would would Sam have told him that somebody already did have a bad night?
Yeah, this will probably be on his way to his car, actually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll pause and actually, my friends seem to have run across the body.
You get a text back. Oh, no, you're talking to him on the phone, never mind. Well, if none of the kind have noticed, I'm sure they'll clean it up if none of the kind have noticed.
Your officers have responded.
Great. All right. Well, thanks for the heads up. I will immediately start taking the steps to hush this up.
Right.
We gonna have to catch this guy though. We can only hush up so many of these killings where people start talking about serial killers and.
Yeah, and then at which point Samuel just sort of grins a little bit and is like, and he just poached in my home.
Well, that does make it a little personal, don't it?
Dramatic ending.
Yes, it does.
And we will wrap there.
Tune in next week when we try to organize a blood hunt.
Blood hunt. Blood for the blood gods. All right.
Basically. Literally in this case, actually.
Right?
So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I had fun running it. I hope that anybody watching at home liked it.
Hell yeah.
Feel free to, please tune in next week when we'll be back and maybe they'll finally track this poor fella down.
He will be poor
Man.
when we're done with him.
I mean, Maeve does have his jacket.
You at least want to give that back to him, and that's just common courtesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use her dog to sniff and see if the dog can find the scent.
That's perfectly viable. So anyway, that'll do us for today. Tune in tomorrow at 6, right here, for Monster of the Week.
Me and Jason.
Yes, both as players. Let's go around. Let's see. It's Monster of the Week tomorrow. Then Thursday night it is Descend into Avernus, which is D&D 5e. And then we come back around to Monday with the Escorts, which is also D&D. And then we'll be back on Tuesday. Anything else we need to mention?
I think that's it, unless you want to start plugging YouTubes and Patreons.
Well, I know Direbird's got a Patreon, but I can't remember what.
Yes.
I can't remember where it's actually at. Is it Direbird GM or is it? That's right. It'll be below us here on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's below us.
And probably in the notes on YouTube.
Our Session Zero's in there.
Yes, it is. Patreon supporters can see our Session 0, where we went through coterie creation, fleshing out some of the background, where we did our pretty relationship charts that you probably
Our
can't see.
interpersonal relationships.
That you probably can't see on
That
here
looks a
because
lot
it's
better.
pencil.
That looks a lot better than mine.
But so anyway, that's us for today. Yeah, yours look fine.
Your guy's a lot prettier than mine. I literally wrote name, who they liked, who they disliked, and the reason why. Just in a sheet.
Well, anyway, we will see y'all next time.